Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome to our Sunday program today. Wishing all the mothers here a very happy Mother's Day and welcome here to ISKCONofRoundRock. We will get started with our Sunday program. Today we have a class to be given by Vijay Prabhu. Vijay Prabhu, as many of you know, is an active leader in our community, and Prabhu has a secret. His secret is all of our days are only 24 hours. Somehow Vijay Prabhu's day is 36 hours. And I just don't know how he has a 36-hour day. And one day I hope we get the secret of how he has a 36-hour day, because so much of things he's somehow able to fit in a singular day that I have a very hard time understanding how that math works. So Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Indradumna Swami Maharaj, does a lot of services in our temple, and we're really excited to hear from him today at this Sunday program. Can Prabhu get a pair of kartals, please? Kartals? You, Prabhu? Let's give a round of applause to welcome Vijay Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Maybe we can display Jai Radha Madhava. Somehow my HDMI is not working. It's not displaying. Oh, it did come?
It came, yes.
Oh,
it was taking a few minutes. It came and you just unplugged it right when it came.
It came now? Oh, okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Dhamadhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Varadhari Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam this morning. I want to first start by wishing all the mothers in the room a very happy Mother's Day. Please repeat. Sacha Swarlokam Arokshayan Sunitim Jananim Dhruva Anvasmarad Agam Hitva Dinam Yasye Trivistapam. Sacha Swarlokam Arokshayan Sunitim Jananim Dhruva Anvasmaradagam Hitva Dinam Yasye Trivistapam. Sacha Swarlokam Arokshayan Sunitim Jananim Dhruva Anvasmarad Agam Hitva Dinam Yasye Trivistapam. Prabhus. Sacha Swarlokam Arokshayan Sunitim Jananim Dhruva Anvasmaradagam Hitva Dinam Vayasye Trivistapam. Sacha Swarlokam Arokshayan Sunitim Jananim Dhruva Anvasmaradagam Hitva Dinam Yasye Trivistapam. Matajis. Sacha Swarlokam Arokshayan Sinitim Jananim Dhruva Anvasmaradagam Hitva Dinam Yasye Trivistapam. Sacha Swarlokam Arokshayan Sunitim Jananim Dhruva Anvasmaradagam hetva Dinam yase trivistapam. Please repeat. Sa, he, cha, also, swalokam, to the celestial planet, arokshan, about to ascend, sunitim, suniti, jananim, mother, dhruva, Dhruva Maharaj, Anvasmarat, immediately remembered, Agam, difficult to attain, Hitva, leaving behind, Dinam, poor, Yasye, I shall go, Trivistapam, to the Vaikuntha planet. Translation. Dhruva was seated in the transcendental airplane, which was just about to start. When he remembered his poor mother, Suniti, he thought to himself, how shall I go alone to the Vaikuntha planet and leave behind my poor mother? We'll chant the prayers together. Om Agyanati Midandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vichakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Triyubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Puppet by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Dhruva had a feeling of obligation to his mother Suniti. It was Suniti who had given him the clue which had now enabled him to be personally carried to the Vaikuntha planet by the associates of Lord Vishnu. He now remembered her and wanted to take her with him. Actually, Dhruva Maharaj's mother, Suniti, was his Patha Pradarshaka Guru. Patha Pradarshaka Guru means the Guru or the spiritual master who shows the way. Such a Guru is sometimes called Shiksha Guru. Although Narad Muni was his Diksha Guru, the initiating spiritual master, Suniti, his mother, was the first who gave him instruction on how to achieve the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is the duty of the Shiksha Guru or the Diksha Guru to instruct the disciple in the right way. And it depends on the disciple to execute the process. According to Shastric injunctions, there is no difference between Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. And generally, the Shiksha Guru later on becomes the Diksha Guru. Suniti, however, being a woman, and specifically his mother, could not become Dhruva Maharaj's Diksha Guru. Still, he was not less obliged to Suniti. There was no question of carrying Narad Muni to Vaikuntha Loka, but Dhruva Maharaj thought of his mother. Whatever plan the Supreme Personality of Godhead contemplates immediately fructifies. Similarly, a devotee who is completely dependent on the Supreme Lord can also fulfill his wishes by the grace of the Lord. The Lord fulfills his wishes independently, but a devotee fulfills his wishes simply by being dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, as soon as Dhruva Maharaj thought of his poor mother, he was assured by the associates of Vishnu that Suniti was also going to Vaikuntha Loka, in another plane. Dhruva Maharaj had thought that he was going alone to Vaikuntha Loka, leaving behind his mother, which was not very auspicious because people would criticize him for going alone to Vaikuntha Loka and not carrying with him Suniti, who had given him so much. But Dhruva also considered that he was not personally the Supreme. Therefore, only if Krishna fulfilled his desires would it be possible. Krishna could immediately understand his mind, and he told Dhruva that his mother was also going with him. This incident proves that a pure devotee like Dhruva Maharaj can fulfill all his desires by the grace of the Lord. He becomes exactly like the Lord, and thus, whenever he thinks of anything, his wish is immediately fulfilled. Dhruva Maharaj ki. So, today is a very important day. In Vaishnava calendars, we celebrate so many festivals throughout the year, glorifying our acharyas, celebrating appearance days, disappearance days, ekadasis twice a month, every fortnight. But mothers have a very, very strategic and important role to play in shaping the lives of all of us, and us as parents shaping the life of our children. Mothers actually build a house and call it a home, so we can call it a home. But why do we need days like Mother's Day? When I was growing up in India, in my childhood, at an age of 8 or 10 or even 12, I never heard of a day called Mother's Day, because in our culture, we grow up with a ton of family around us, a lot of association, values that are imparted on us from the childhood. So every day is a Mother's Day. But as you come to the West, you get to celebrate Mother's Day. Just like, Christmas is more about shopping than actually Jesus. Mother's Day is more about parties, get together, taking the mother once a 6 months or in a year to a restaurant and celebrate the Mother's Day. But mother is there 364 days of the year outside of that, one day as well. So I used to wonder when I came to America that what is so unique about Mother's Day? Then over the last 25 years that I've been here, I've learned, yes, there is uniqueness, because the environment that we live in, it is so engrossed in the material modes of nature that we do not have time for our mothers or fathers or other family members. So, okay, as a compromise, at least there is one day we can go to the mother and say, okay, we are remembering you. Or we can pick up the phone and call if you can't go and visit the mother. But let's flip it the other way. Is there a son's day or a daughter's day? No. Why? Because mother is always thinking about the child. Every time, every single day, every moment, every hour, especially when the child is separated from the mother. Oftentimes, mothers have to become very humble because they tolerate a lot. And I'm speaking from my personal experience and mistakes that I have made in my life, where maybe I could have done a little bit more for my mother, or could have associated more with my mother, which I could not due to one circumstance or another. Yet, my mother always remained very humble and very tolerant. And so is every mother. Very humble and tolerant to the child. No matter how the child behaves, what child says, and what they might not say. Humility in the mother, humility means to accept the complexities of realities. Chaitanya Charan Prabhu mentioned this one in one of his classes beautifully. Humility means accepting the complexities of a reality. And the mother understands the real situation, whether a child tells that to mother or doesn't tell that to the mother. Mother always understands. So in Western world, we see the Mother's Day is celebrated. But why is it celebrated? Because there is lack of stability of a family structure. As I said, growing up in India, most of us who are now in the midlife crisis or old age crisis, we grew up in an environment where a lot of family was around us, and we didn't really have to take out just one day for mothers. If you think about it, human species is the most dependent species amongst mammals that is dependent on a mother. Anybody has watched, what is those channels on the TV, the Animal Planet or something? Yes, Animal, or Discovery, something, yeah? Back in the day it was Animal Planet, now it's called Discovery? Oh, it's the same, okay. In that one time, and this is, I don't know how many, maybe a decade or so more ago, I was watching a video in which a mother giraffe had just given a birth to the baby giraffe. And then she's kicking him within 2 hours. Get up, start walking. And after some time, they get separated. And the camera is on this baby giraffe. Is trying to figure out where to go, what to do. And then after a few hours, again pass by, and a bunch of different, many giraffes come by that area. And this baby giraffe just tags along because he understands same species. And after a week, it was shown that this baby giraffe is grown a little bit more strength, whatever, and is not so much dependent on the mother, but looking for the mother. But the mother was keeping an eye on this baby giraffe. And mother was always watching. But in humans, that is unheard of. And if something like that happens, that at birth, the child is separated from the mother, it is very difficult for the child. In India, we had joint families. Then they transitioned into nuclear families. And now we have nuclear fissions in the West, where the children as electrons and protons are in the concrete jungles of America. Yes? So that's because we don't have healthy relationships, which we used to have. We don't have healthy relationships. And we struggle to grow properly if we don't have healthy relationships amongst the families. A lot of our growth in children is dependent on the loving relationship the child shares with the mother. So it becomes so critical that from the childhood, and we'll see in many, many examples in Shastra actually that, philosophically provide evidence for this, that from the childhood, as it's the mother has the most important, that's why she's called Adi Guru, right? She's the first Guru. The impressions on the child are there because the mother is imparting those. Mother is the one who bears the child in the womb for 9 months and then feeds the baby after birth. Srila Prabhupada used to say that the nearest we could come to selfless love in this world is that of a mother. Because as a mother, we can experience that she cares for another living entity very intimately and at a very high selfless level. No other relationship in this creation comes closer to that selfless, intimate, loving bond that a mother shares with a child. In a book called Second Chance, if you haven't read it, it's a very small book. We have it here. Srila Prabhupada writes about how Ajamil was so attached to his son. He says that the affection of a parent for their child is natural and it is necessary, but it is not spiritual. Very interesting statement. The attachment of a parent to the child is natural and necessary, but it is not spiritual. He gives an example. He says, let's say there is a small kitten, and someone comes, sees the small kitten. I want to pat this kitten. And the cat is nearby. What do you think the cat is going to do? Yeah, exactly. With the paw or show with the nails or scratch something or warn not to come close to the kitten. It's a tendency of a mother to protect the child. So you see, even in animal species, we see that motherly love exists. It's natural, it's necessary, but it is not spiritual. So what is the difference? It is not spiritual. Why? What's missing? Yeah? Okay. Attachment could lead to the child to no path. Okay. What ingredient is missing in that relationship? God consciousness is missing. That's why it is not spiritual. That relationship is not spiritual because spirit and God are not together. So that God consciousness is missing. In our culture, most of us are from India in this room. In Indian culture, the material piety is equanimized with spirituality. If somebody is doing very well, following dharma, artha, kama, it is said, oh, that in itself is very good. Everything is taken care of. So whenever Srila Prabhupada would speak in Hindi, when he would go visit India and give classes in the temples, he would actually focus on the theme of aparadharma and paradharma. Aparadharma and paradharma. From material religiosity to spiritual realization. And he would focus on how people could keep Shri Radha Kunj Bihari in the center of their lives. There's a beautiful verse from Bhagavad Gita. Please repeat. I'll display it on the screen for all of you as well. Devi Esha Gunamai Mama Maya Durataya Mameva Ye Prapadyante Mayam Etam Terantite Krishna is saying this divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is very difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So we see, there is, the world we live in, there's a lot of focus on what we have to do. What are our material duties? And if we just perform them, then in itself, we are doing religious. When I was in New York, I used to work in a company. I was a co-worker, and he was workaholic. He was working all the time. He would come. He was a consultant, and he would come to the office at 7 a.m. He'd be there till 7:30 in the evening, and meter is running. And I used to tell him, you should take some time out. You're here 6 days a week. He used to come even on Saturday to work. Only Sunday he would take off. I would tell him, okay, Sunday you've taken off, let's go, let's go and, we used to have a gathering like this. We were students not too long ago, and we had all just gotten into our first jobs. And we used to study and read Gita together. And he would tell me, no, my work is my worship. No? Many people believe that, right? Work is worship. I mean, it's not wrong, but that is just the beginning. That's a karma kanda stage of spirituality. So, and then many times people quote from Upanishads. They would say, Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, right? What does that mean? Mother and father is God. Yes? See, sentimentally, it is correct. Sentimentally, it is correct. There's nothing wrong in that statement. And why? Because just like Krishna is maintaining everything, He's providing us everything, He's sustaining everything, He's maintaining everything. At the birth of a child, parents, father or mother, do exactly same. They provide everything for the child's sustenance and maintenance. But does that mean that father and mother are God? No, it doesn't mean that. There was a story. One time, a mother and father, they were quarreling. They're quarreling a lot, and they're saying, no, my son will become a doctor. The father is saying, my son will become a doctor. Mother is saying, no, he will become an engineer. Doctor, engineer. No. They came to a verge of divorce on that topic. So they go in front of the judge, explain the situation to the judge, and judge, we cannot live together anymore. And, the court system is, let's see if this can be worked out. Stay, in at least in US, there's a system. So judge says, what seems to be the problem? So the father says, I want my son to be the doctor. And so what's the problem with that? She doesn't agree. She wants him to be an engineer. And she goes, yep, my son cannot become a doctor. My son has to become an engineer. So the judge says, why don't you bring your son and let's talk to him. What does he want to do? So they said that he's not born yet. So you see, when I was in college, I took a class, Law 101 or Law 110, something like that, business law. It was B Law 110. And the attorney that was teaching that class, he said, first sentence out of his mouth in this new semester, when I took the class, we walked in, there were about 150 students in the auditorium. He goes, the first lesson you're going to learn today before you walk out is that you can always sue. And we were like, any reason? Nope, no reason. You can always sue. Legally, you can always sue anyone for anything at any time, whether you have a reason or not. Because the reason is determined by the judge and the jury, if it is valid or not. So in this case, mother and father, son was not born. So they are like, as father and mother, we become the representative of God because the child needs that support at that time. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 10th canto, it is mentioned that after killing Kamsa, Krishna goes to Vasudeva and Devaki and mentions that as a child, I was supposed to serve you. But because of circumstantial drama that was going on in Vrindavan, I unfortunately could not spend any time. But now, from here on out, I will be serving you. So the duty is not only of the mother, but also of the child towards the mother and the father. So we see that, as our culture is getting more westernized, the family bonds in the current generation are not the same. They're disintegrating. And that disintegration causes this generational gap. Man, have you ever heard any child has ever not told you, you don't understand me? Your generation is very different than our generation. See, kids today, they want to just break free of relationships with the parents at the age of 14 because they see everyone outside doing that. They're not, they want to have their life on their own. I need freedom. Once I get my freedom, I will be able to do the things that I want to do. Yeah. Now, there are challenges in every relationship because we live in a very passionate world. And when we live in a very passionate world, which is one of the modes of material nature, we are always thinking everything is what I want. I want it this way. I want it that way. Was there a song like that? So everything is I, right? Centered on I. And over this lifespan of being self-centered, we become I specialist. Not this I specialist, but I specialist. Because I want it my way. Everything is focused on me, mine, and I. So as soon as we are forced to come out of this I, that's when our spiritual journey begins. Oftentimes we talk about doing service in the temple. So many devotees work so hard every Sunday, every festival, cooking, coming early in the morning, sacrificing their time, doing bhoga shopping 2 days before, getting all the groceries, getting all the flowers, then coming a day before, setting up the altar, dressing the deities, because they're not doing it for I, because they're doing it for you and others. So sometimes there is that, because everybody's involved in service, there is a commitment. Like our Tarun Kishore Prabhu, he's here 2 hours before, often when there is a major festival, or at least an hour before anybody else comes and sets up, make sure that audio video is working, live broadcast is working, so devotees who cannot come today, they can listen to these classes later on. That's commitment. Aversion to commitment is not detachment. Somebody can say, oh, I don't need to do this service, or I don't need to do something for some other family member. That's not. Okay, detachment is that you are truly detached with something that you want to give up. Giving up service is not detachment. Aversion to commitment of doing service is actually mode of ignorance. Now, detachment in itself is mode of goodness. But aversion to committing to doing a service is actually mode of ignorance. So we see, today, the Mother's Day celebration, we see that it gets commercialized easily. Actually, I've seen more commercialization nowadays in New Delhi than I see in America. One time I happened to be in India during Mother's Day, and I was in New Delhi near Connaught Place. Rajiv Circle it is called now. And everywhere there were big, big banners, balloons, hearts. No, that was Valentine's, I think. Whatever, my festival. But one way or the other, it's commercialization of these days that are celebrated, right? There's a huge commercialization. Same thing with Ganesh Chaturthi. So those of us who are from Mumbai, Maharashtra, we see there is a huge festival that is celebrated at the time of Ganesh Chaturthi. And what ends up happening? You have these big, big Ganesh deities. My deity is bigger than your deities. I have a big loudspeaker than your loudspeakers. I have big pandal program going on. And those speakers, there's Ganesh there. And the speakers are playing Bollywood songs. So one time, this devotee was there and he went with a friend. He said his friend invited him, let's go Ganesh Chaturthi. So he said to the organizer, you have beautiful deity of Ganesh and you're playing Bollywood songs. And he goes, Ganesh is Bhakta Vatsala. Whatever the devotee likes, Ganesha likes. We like Bollywood song, Ganesha likes Bollywood songs. So, you see, some people, they're not doing sacrifice or yagna for the Lord. They're doing it for their own self, it's not realization, but enjoyment. Actually, there is a verse about this in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna actually talks about this in Bhagavad Gita, in the 16th chapter. Let's pull that up. So you see, here, read the translation. Self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name only, without following any rules or regulations. Now, Krishna spoke the Gita 5,000 years ago. He did not know that a Bollywood song is being played at that time, but he knows what's happening in future. So his teachings are time immemorial. So similarly, when we celebrate Mother's Day, we must look to spiritualize the day, every day. As a son or a daughter, we must realize the value of a mother in our lives. Now, I'm going to ask a question. And this will be not for the mothers, it will be for everybody else. And if everybody else cannot answer, then the mothers who are daughters can answer. So, Prabhus, you all have mothers. What are the qualities, some of the qualities you admire about your mother? Selflessness. Beautiful. Caring. She's caring, yes. Anybody else? Sacrifices. Encouragement. What else? Huh? Always on your side. Yes. We'll talk about that too. Shastric example is there for that one. Even for the demons. Yes. What else? Huh? Forgiving. That was the first quality we will discuss. Forgiving. What else? What other qualities a mother has? Tolerance. Yes. Loving. Yes. They're all beautiful qualities of a mother, and there are many, many such more. So loving, caring, forgiving, always on your side, no matter what happens. So let's talk a little bit about forgiveness. Krishna was on the chariot of Arjuna, and he was driving the chariot very, very fast because Ashwatthama had recently just killed the 5 sons of Draupadi. And she was in a lot of pain. And Arjuna had promised to bring the head of Ashwatthama to Draupadi and told her that until I do that, don't purify yourself. Wait. So now Krishna is driving this chariot behind Ashwatthama. And in that battle that ensues, Arjuna ends up capturing Ashwatthama. And Krishna is telling him, kill him. Kill him. Arjuna's intent was what? He was going to kill him. He was going to cut off his head and bring to Draupadi. But after Arjuna captures Ashwatthama and Krishna is encouraging him to kill him, he decides not to kill. He captures him and he brings him alive to Draupadi. And now everyone there, including Bhima and Krishna, is again telling Arjuna to kill Ashwatthama. But what happens? Why? Draupadi said no, but why? Yeah. There were three reasons, primarily, or prominently three reasons. The first one was that he was a Brahmana. You kill a Brahmana, you get the sin of Brahmahatya. Second was, he was the son of his guru, Dronacharya. And third was that because Dronacharya had already died, the only son left is Ashwatthama, who is the protector of Kripi, the mother of Ashwatthama. And if Arjuna was to kill him, who would protect Kripi? And Kripi will feel the same pain that Draupadi was feeling. Now, devotees, just realize this is not 5 days later that Draupadi is saying this, not 5 months, years later. This is in that moment when her children have just been slaughtered in their sleep. And Mother Draupadi's attitude is of forgiveness. It's said that when a child is born, people say that mother has given birth to a child. But a friend of mine mentioned something beautiful. He said that when a child takes birth, a mother is born. Because that relationship is so sacred between the two that one doesn't exist without another. There's a Hindi, in Hindi, most people understand Hindi. I'll say it in Hindi and I'll translate it, those who don't. Everybody understands Hindi somewhat, a little bit, except I know her. There's a beautiful saying. It says, एक दिन मेरे दोस्त ने मुझसे पूछा, वो कौन सी जगह है जहां हर गलती, जहां हर गुनाह, हर जुर्म माफ हो जाता है? That is a mother's heart. No matter what we do, what we have done in the past, worst of the things or the activities, mother will always forgive. That is the heart of the mother. At, it's in 12th canto, in 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the second chapter, there are things given what will happen in Kali Yuga to the relationship between mother and children. And disciples of Srila Prabhupada have written in that purport that in Kali Yuga, parents will end up being in old age homes. And although the children are alive, but there will be no one to take care of them. And we see that how true that is. So, talking about mothers, how many types of mothers do we know? 7. Okay, let's go one by one. Mother Earth, biological mother, teacher, teacher's wife, guru's wife, yes? King's wife, nursing mother, cow. Mother Earth has been spoken for. Huh? No, that's done. There's one more. Mother, wife, that's spoken for. Spoken for. Okay, I'll say it because now we are repeating. Wife of the king. Who said that? Oh, you said it. Oh, you said it. Sorry, I didn't hear it. So those are the 7 mothers. Yes, cow. And how do we address the mother? What do we call the mother in our languages, different languages? Ma, matra, ai, amma, mummy, mama, mom, or if you go to UK, mum. And if you really shorten it, M. Hey, this is not the M of that movie. What is that? James Bond. And there is this character, her name is M. Maya mori main nahi makhan khayo. So, but M, this mother, there's another beautiful quality of the mother, and that is her divinity, her mamta towards the child. Her love, somebody mentioned the love of a mother towards a child. Now, there's a beautiful pastime that is described by His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj between Mother Yashoda, Srimati Radharani and Krishna. So, picture this. You are in Vrindavan, in the forests of Vrindavan. It is now already dark, full moonlight. Birds are returned to their nests. Cows have come home. And there are ankle bells that can be heard in the forests. And those ankle bells are increasing in sound. So there are many ankle bells all of a sudden you can hear. And Mother Yashoda has just put Krishna to sleep. And she hears these ankle bells. And she comes out and she goes towards where the sound is coming from. And as she gets closer and closer and closer, she sees a lot of gopis. She sees Srimati Radharani. And in the middle is Krishna with his flute dancing. Now, Mother Yashoda is bewildered. And she's questioning herself. And she goes and touches Srimati Radharani. This is all real. And she's like, why did you wake up my Krishna? I just put him to sleep. And Radharani's confused. Krishna has been with us all this while. He never left my sight. How can he be sleeping? So Mother Yashoda is saying, no, she's sleeping. Mother Radharani is saying, no, he's been here. She's saying, this is not your Krishna. What do you mean this is not your Krishna? You put your Krishna to sleep, so he must be sleeping. This is my Krishna. This is our Krishna. And Mother Yashoda is like, how is that possible? It's not possible. She goes, no, you go, your Krishna is not here. This is our Krishna. Please, we are going to be, spending some time here together. Now, Mother Yashoda is not ready to leave. That's the heart of the mother. You have my child in front of you, and you're telling me that's not my child? Would any of the mothers accept that? So, Radharani is thinking that this is not going to get resolved easily. And Mother Yashoda is thinking the same way. Mother Yashoda gets an idea. She says, why don't we do this? Why don't we bring my Krishna and your Krishna together and let them dance together? So Radharani is very confident. She goes, perfect, no problem. So now Radharani says, but just to differentiate, I'm going to put this black dot on Krishna so that we can know who is my Krishna and who is your Krishna. Acceptable? Mother Yashoda said, yes, acceptable. So Mother Yashoda goes back and sees Krishna come. So now Krishna is there. She's confused. She brings Krishna. Krishna is here, Krishna is there. There are two Krishnas. Now everybody is confused. So now both Krishnas are dancing, playing flute, doing their thing. And while they're doing that, the worst possible nightmare happens. Two Krishnas become one. Now, the problem is even more compounded. Which Krishna is Mother Yashoda's or Radharani's? So now Radharani goes closer and says, oh, dot is still there. This is my Krishna. Now, because they've merged. Now, Mother Yashoda is actually in a lot of anxiety. She's saying, where is my son? Where did he go? And she's asking Radharani, please give me my Krishna back. Please give me my Krishna back. I cannot be without my Krishna. And Radharani is like, what do I do? And Radharani, with a sidelong glance, looks at Krishna and says, क्या कर रहे हो भाई? दुविधा में डाल दिया है. And Krishna indicates to her, tell Mother Yashoda, Krishna is sleeping, go back and check. And so she tells that to Mother Yashoda. And Yashoda Mai goes back and sees Krishna is peacefully sleeping. So with this beautiful pastime, we see that Mother Yashoda was so distressed. And she was so desperate that she didn't want to lose the sight of her child. And that is the heart of a mother. You know, many of the mothers in our congregation have, their children who are grown up and going to colleges. Ask those mothers what that first week, first month, first quarter looks like in the house. Even the thought of that happening 3 months from now, that where they're not going to see, even though the child might not be in front of the mother all the time living in the same household, but mother knows he's here or she's here. But when the child is out of sight and not in the house, ask the heart of that mother. A father probably doesn't feel as much, but a mother does. That's the heart of the mother. The third quality I think somebody mentioned is always protecting the child. Now, let's take an example from Shastra again, of Mother Uttara. When Parikshit Maharaj was in the womb of the mother, what happened? Brahmastra was shot towards her womb. And when the Brahmastra was shot towards her womb, she had nowhere to go. And she came to Krishna. Pahi Pahi Mahayogin. There's nobody here to protect me except you, my Lord. And Krishna, out of his abundance of mercy for his devotees, he appears, to the places where we cannot imagine. And he appeared in the womb of Uttara to protect Parikshit Maharaj. And Parikshit Maharaj got darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as an embryo in the womb of the mother. How beautiful. And what did he do all his life? Search. He wanted to see Krishna one more time. All his life, he was looking for the same darshan that he got as an embryo. So you see, the consciousness of a soul is developed. So in the womb of the mother to even hear and see by the mercy of Shri Radha Kunj Bihari. There's another beautiful poetic line that I came across that somebody has written, and it says, "ये जो सख्त रास्ते पर भी सफर आसान लगता है, ये मुझे मेरी माँ की दुआओं का असर लगता है." So, you're thinking you come to a temple today and you're hearing all this poetic, description, but these are so beautifully describing the heart of a child for a mother. Because if you think, the mother has been so protective of the child from the childhood that our hearts should be immersed in the gratitude for our mothers. Mother always will see us as a child, no matter how old you are. I remember an instance when my mother was in coma. She had a heart attack at the age of 47, and she woke up after 4.5 days. And after she opened her eyes, after she was able to speak a little bit, we had just given her some, ice chips and things. And when she spoke the first thing she said to me was, I said, "Where were you? Do you know?" She said, "Yes, I had gone on a pilgrimage." The second thing she asked me was, "Have you eaten anything?" It's like, that was the least expected question I would think of that my mother would be asking me in a cardiac, critical care unit, CCCU. And I was at loss of words that I said, I have, but how are you feeling, right? But this was so heart-touching for me that as a mother, her thought was always about how are my children. Because my mother, of course, she loved to cook and all that, but mother always sees us as a child, no matter how old we are. And she also always knows the heart of the child. Sometimes we witness, and the mothers can acknowledge this or not, I'll leave it up to you, but oftentimes all of you mothers know whether your child has said something to you or not, whether they're happy or they're in distress or they're upset, you always know something is going on. I would even receive a call from my mother sometime, who lived in New York at the time, that she would say, "What's wrong?" Like, that connection of Paramatma between mother and a child exists. Mother always knows. There's a beautiful pastime that comes from Chaitanya Charitamrita, where one time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nimai is sitting with his wife Vishnu Priya Mataji. And his mother, Sachi Mata, comes and she says, "Nimai, I saw a dream." He goes, "Mother, what was the dream?" She said, "I saw two deities of Krishna and Balaram in my dream. And then I saw you and your friend Nitai in the dream. And both of you had actually become small. Like now he was married, but in the dream, both of them had become small. And Nimai, you were holding Balaram, and Nitai was holding Krishna. So she said, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, that's such a wonderful dream. Mother Sachi says, no, stop. I'm not done yet. But all four of you were fighting. It's like, fighting? Fighting for what? She said, I came and I offered bhoga to Krishna and Balaram, and you picked up the bhoga. Both of you picked up the bhoga. And you're fighting after who is going to eat. And Krishna and Balaram are also fighting that they want to eat. So they are on one side, you two are on one side. And then she says a very interesting thing. She says, and Krishna and Balaram, they're all snatching the food from the bhoga plates and then they're throwing at each other. Or they're eating. All this is going on. And then, you and your that friend Nitai, naughty boy, you both are telling Krishna and Balaram, you got all your bhoga in Dwapar Yuga. This is Kali Yuga. You are not allowed here. So it is our turn now. You cannot have this. So they had a good laugh. But it actually proves two things. What Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that one who offers me a leaf, a fruit, a flower and water with love and devotion, I accept. So Mahaprabhu said, Mother, I'm going to call Nitai. You cook a feast and we will honor the prasadam together. So she says, fine, call Nitai. Now, Nityananda Prabhu comes. And Nityananda Prabhu comes and they're waiting, and Mother Sachi brings 2 plates of prasadam or bhoga to be offered. And as she enters the room, by this time, Vishnu Priya, wife of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, had just stepped out. So Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were sitting. At that time, they had not taken sannyas. So Nimai and Nitai were sitting and having their pastime. As soon as Mother Vishnu Priya enters the room, she had 2 plates in her hand. And she is overcome by a lot of emotion. And she starts crying because what she sees in front of her is that Nimai and Nitai have become 2 little boys. And they have become 2 little boys, and slowly she starts getting darshan of them in different yugas, in different incarnations. It's becoming Lord Ramachandra, Narsinghadev, Vamandev, Varahadev, Narsinghadev. All the different incarnations are now visible to Mother Sachi. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 17, Krishna actually says, I am the mother, I am the father. Now we're running short of time and I have to catch a flight to Brazil right after this. So I'll try to speed up. I'm actually 50% way through. So there's so many beautiful pastimes. But they're all qualities of mothers. But these qualities of mothers are coming from Shastras. That's why there is evidence. That's why I'm taking time to share a little bit of these beautiful stories, because these are tied to the qualities of the mothers that all of you acknowledged. So, mother is all knowing. This is the evidence I'm giving you from this pastime. Mother knows what's going on in the heart of the child. So after she gets darshan of Mahaprabhu in different forms, different incarnations, she gets a very strong intuition. She goes closer to Nimai, holds his hand and says that she's fearful. She is fearful that he was going to take sannyas. And a short while later, Nimai Pandit takes sannyas. So the mother is always all-knowing. She knows everything. Now, wives are a different story. We're not going to get into that subject. Okay? Mothers and children. We're just staying on that subject. All-knowing, all-pervading, that's a different topic for a different day. So, actually, today is the best opportunity for me to speak on that topic. My wife is not in the hall. So, there is one time, there's so many stories. Anyway, we'll stick to the topic. Mother Devaki, somebody also mentioned that the mothers actually worry or their anxiety about children more often than not, especially when children are not in front of the mother and they're separated by distance. Mother Devaki, she knew who Krishna is. And she knew the 8th child born will be the one who will kill Kamsa. She knew that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But yet, what happens when Krishna is born? And Devaki and Vasudeva are offering all these beautiful prayers to Krishna. Now, Krishna appears in a four-arm form, with all his paraphernalia. And they're praying. But right after that, she's overcome with anxiety and worriness. And she's telling Krishna, please do something so Kamsa doesn't come to know that you have appeared. Because she's concerned Kamsa is going to come and harm him. The Supreme Personality of Godhead. And she uses a particular word to address Krishna. Does anybody know what that word was? She uses the word Madhusudan. That's the word she uses. Because, Madhu was one of the ferocious demons that Krishna kills. So she calls him Madhusudan, yet she's afraid of, Kamsa coming and harming her child, who is a supreme person. Mother is also, like I said earlier, the first guru. There's a beautiful pastime in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. There's a pastime of Dhruva Maharaj and Suniti. Now, Dhruva Maharaj, he was a prince, but his father had married another queen. So the stepmom would not let him sit on the lap of the father. And Dhruva Maharaj's mother was deposed, she was away. She was sent away. And the stepmom had told Dhruva Maharaj, you're not qualified. And Dhruva Maharaj was very hurt. How does a mother feel when the child is hurt? A lot of emotion. It's a lot of hurt to the mother as well. But Suniti, she stayed very focused based on the teachings that she wanted to impart on Dhruva Maharaj. So when Dhruva Maharaj approached her, she said, Dhruva Maharaj said that I want to just take over this kingdom. I am the rightful owner. I want to make sure that I get my rights. I'm the heir to this throne. And Suniti instructed him that one should not think inauspiciously about anyone else. And one has to give up this envy, the tendency to think ill about others. And then she said the most important thing. All the things that you want, he said, who can give me this? She said, only Vishnu can give you what you want. Where will I find Vishnu? And he was a little boy, so she said, just go to the forest. You'll find the sages that are meditating, you can go ask. So he leaves for the forest. And anybody who came in the way, do you know Vishnu? Do you know Vishnu? Do you know? And he was meditating so much on Vishnu that Narad Muni had to come. And then eventually, he gets darshan of Vishnu. And then he's to be taken. Now, we see the role of the mother is so critical. As a guru, one who is loving, one who is caring, one who is protecting. There also, the same thing was Narad Muni's own mother. Narad Muni's own mother passed away when he was just a little boy. But she also fulfilled her role as that of a guru, because she taught him how to be attached to the great sages and, most importantly, their instructions. Mother is always protective. Have you ever, those who have children, noticed when your child was just learning to walk and the child fell down? What would we do? We quickly would run and pick the child up and hit the ground. How did you hit my child? The child would be confused. Oh, my mother is taking my side. Yeah? And it'll be like, abhi roon ki nahi roon? Right? Should I cry? Should I not cry? So, mother is always so protective. Even the mother of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu was so protective. Diti was thinking, this Indra, he's so cruel, he's hard-hearted, he's sinful, he's trying to kill my children. Arey bhai, your children. Bacche utha ke, they throw your cell phone and we yell at them. Hiranyaksha, what did he do? He threw the whole earth. But he's such a boy, such a nice boy, yeah? That's how the mothers think. No matter how the child does, mothers think that way. My warning has arrived. Blessings of a mother have a lot of power. You serve the mother, any of the 7 mothers. Shastras say you get 9 things. Anybody knows what those are? Ayu, Yash, Punya, Swarg, Kirti, Pashu Sukham, which is more or less Teslas of the world now, private jets, Dhanam, Dhanyam. Any activity we do to serve any of these 7 mothers, scripturally, we will obtain a benefit. And if for one reason or another one doesn't have a mother, we have 6 other biological mothers, then 6 other mothers to choose from and fulfill our duties. And I'll end with this, that the most important role that a mother plays in the life of a child is giving service to transcend the blessing, giving the blessings of and service to transcend the material modes of nature. So we can get Krishna Prema. Actually, Bhagavatam states that one who, as a duty of a father and a mother, if you have given birth to a child, is your duty is to deliver the child from the cycle of birth and death. And if you don't do that, you actually cannot get out of the cycle of birth and death yourself. Most people will hear it and it's like, nice thing to hear. Actually, this is written in our scriptures. If most of the things written in our scriptures make sense to you by logic, there are certain things that will make sense to you by believing and putting faith. So many more pastimes of mother and child that are coming from Shastras. Devahuti, Kapila Dev, Hanuman, Anjana, Sumitra, Lakshman, Ram, Maryada Purushottam Ram. Last pastime, I'll finish, I promise. We see Lord Ramachandra is embodied for always being very, very straight. He's not doing any mischievous activities, just like Krishna does in his pastimes, in his Leela, or Nimai does it. But actually, Lord Ramachandra did do one activity. It was very mischievous. Does anybody know this pastime? Yes. So when they were learning to walk, all the mothers had gathered and they were seeing Ram and Lakshman, like they're learning to walk. And they see Lord Ramachandra and they get into this place, there is mud. And what happens in my childhood, when it would rain a lot and the streets would have 5 inches of water, we would go and we will jump in the puddles of water. It was so much fun. We'll make the boats and we'll put it in the stream that is flowing. And Lord Ramachandra, all these activities, we did actually come from our Prabhu. So they take this piece of mud, they make the rolls of mud and they're throwing at each other. And the mothers are enjoying that. Let the mothers enjoy that when the child is a teenager. Throwing mud at everybody. No, they don't. But as you're a 1-year-old or 2-year-old, mother is going to enjoy. Like my daughter, is she here? So I will not embarrass her now, but she used to eat mud. So they're throwing mud balls, and mantra is there, and Lord Ramachandra actually throws the mud ball at mantra, and everybody starts laughing. And as everybody starts laughing, one person is not laughing, and that is mantra. And Kaikai could see that. And Kaikai also is not laughing anymore. Initially, she was laughing. And that's why mantra decided, Bacche, I will teach you a lesson. 14 years, Banvas. When Lakshman wanted to go along with Lord Ramachandra, he goes to his mother. And mother understands the service to the Supreme is the highest goal, even beyond her own sacrifice to remain separated from her son. And she instructs him to go serve Lord Ramachandra. For 14 years, Lakshman did not sleep. That is the blessing and the power of the mother for the child, that the mother empowers a child to go achieve things that they themselves cannot by their own wisdom or effort. The more examples, like I said, Hanuman and Anjana is another example. Just the breast milk of Anjana could destroy a mountain. So with that, I will stop. We are already over time. Thank you very much for listening. My apologies, we ran a little bit late. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Thank you, Ramajay Prabhu, for the wonderful class on Mother's Day and glorifying the mothers, and ending the class right at 1:08 at a very auspicious time. So thank you so much. That's another round of applause for Prabhu for that very wonderful class. Hope you make your flight on time, Prabhu. With that, we'll get ready for Aarti. We request everyone to please rise for Aarti, and then we'll do some announcements after Aarti and honor our Prasadam. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I'll take it. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. श्री श्री राधा कुंज बिहारी भगवान की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। नित्यानंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hands louder, please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey! Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey! Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bol! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Shri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Jagannath Jagannath Baladev Jaya Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki. Requesting everyone to please bow down.
जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शिष्य वेदांत श्रीहरि गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन देवी आचार्य श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। पतित पावन सेव्य अल्फोंसो जगद्गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य स्तोत्र शिष्य भक्ति सिद्धांत ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन गुरु परंपरा की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड देवी गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रज भूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। मायापुर धाम की जय। नवदीप धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा में की जय। जय श्री राधा दामोदर की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ की जय। देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। All glories to Krishna, all glories to the Sample devotees, all glories to the Sample devotees, all glories to the Sample devotees, all glories to Guru Govinda, all glories to Krishna Krishna Prabhupada. Jai.
I'm just gonna sing gnarly. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada Lada Daine Hiranyakashipu Raksha Srila Tankana Kalae Ito Narsimha Bharato Narsimha Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsimha Bahir Narsimha Idair Narsimha Narasringamadihim Sharanam Prapadye Tavakara Kamalavare Nakam Abhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Narsingadev, Jaya Narsingadev, Jaya Narsingadev, Jaya Narsingadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. जय निशंगदेव भगवान की जय, भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय।